Hey guys, so a lot of you might be wondering like why the sudden interest in Pokemon. Well, my husband did a few fan arts for a gift for one of my coworkers. Um, but aside from that, I've always liked Pokemon. It's like one of the first games I ever played that I could win by myself. Like I started playing Pokemon like right when Game Boy Color came out, which is dating me a little bit, but I remember like having the wires to trade and everything like that. So it was, besides Kirby, that's the only game that I could win by myself. So my brother and I have always played Pokemon together, and he's like 40-ish. And I'm always 30, but yeah, we're grown people and we still have competitive Pokemon matches with each other. Like, it's all nice that you can play against other people and everything, but like the main reason I play Pokemon is just to have fights with my family on a game. So this is actually before I make my little Gimme Go book. A lot of people are like, why would you even need a book for Pokemon? Because you can just look it up. It's in the game, or you can just save screenshots. But I've been doing the same kind of thing even before I learned how to use resin and make books. So this is just like a regular plastic folder I got for my Pokemon a long time ago. It's kind of dusty. But I decorated with little flowers and things and little butterflies back then. I don't even know. Do you know what expansion, what Pokemon game was the one with when they went to France? I can't remember. It was a while ago.
White or black and white? One of them we did play. X. I think we played X and Y.
I think it's X and Y. We didn't play black and white that much. We played it for. We got the games, but it wasn't that appealing, so we let it go.
Yep.
But I had this for a while, so even back then, I did this. Like, I had like a little chart of what was weak against, what it was good against, the resistance, the ability of that Pokemon. I made like, there's pictures of how it looks. So I always wanted this one as shiny, but I couldn't get it. So this time it's going to be different. But this is Florges. So I got the name, and then like, all the natures and all the, back then, like, I honestly didn't know what an IV and an EV was. Like, when we were growing up, we just played the game and it was fun. And you kind of notice that some Pokemon are like, oh, he's kind of bad. Like, oh, he's kind of weak, but you didn't really know how bad it was. And so like, I didn't really get into figuring out the IVs and EVs or anything like that until they made it where you could compete online with other people. Because remember, I only played with my brother, and he was really good. Back in the day, I used to be better than him though. Like, it's the tables have turned. Like, I took a slight break. I think it was when Black and White came out because I didn't play. And since then, he's been better at it than me. But when I was growing up, he would always get so mad because I'm his kid sister, and I would still beat him at Pokemon. But when we started doing those online battles, and we realized we were both bad, like terrible. My brother, and I remember back then we had a really like old computer, but he went to school and looked this up. And he's like, hey, have you heard about these EVs and these IVs? I'm like, IVs? Is the Pokemon sick? Like, what's wrong? Like, what's an IV? And so we learned that way that like our Pokemon were terrible. And like back then, like, you could only trade or battle with like a little cord. But when like the world opened up and everybody just started showing like how good their Pokemon could be, I just remember us just going crazy. Like, we were researching things, and we looked at our Pokemon. Like, back then you had to use hints and clues. Like, the NPCs would be like, he's kind of bad. And then you kind of look that up and see what that meant. Like, oh, he's got like he's got like a 2 IV in that trait or whatever. Like, it wasn't perfect or whatever. But anyway, so we got into Pokemon in that level of detail after we went to start competing with other people internationally and battling. So this is when we kind of start doing it. So I started being super organized because that's the kind of person I am. So I made like all my Pokemon have like a little quick overview of what they do. And I put actual color pictures back then of what they look like. So like here's my muck. And here's my Sableye, like my shinies. And this is shiny too, I think. And this is definitely shiny. He wasn't, I think he wasn't shiny. He had perfect IVs. This guy is shiny. This guy definitely was shiny. His name is Pinkie Pie. And I remember my melodic. It took me forever to fish. This is like the original one. Like I found the way. Like I would work so hard in transferring almost all my old Pokemon from like the earliest game it could be transferred to present day. So I'm really kind of anxious. Like I have like nightmares because my Pokemon are on Sword and Shield right now. I kind of think about when putting them in the Poke Home or putting it somewhere I can get to them because it's on the game right now. But like I managed to have a Pokemon that's like 15 years old or something like that. Like my Blaziken was so cool. I thought my Blaziken was awesome. And like it had like horrible stats, but I still have it. So it's like I've passed. A lot of these are actually not my Furfrou. Apparently they didn't bring him back, but like a lot of my Pokemon that were transferable, I have them still on my Sword and Shield game. So I think that's crazy. I still have Pokemon like older than some like teenagers. Like the actual Pokemon is that old because it's been transferred from game to game. But even then, like you can see, I was shiny hunting and I had like math and stuff. Like I was so serious about it. And like I printed out research, I had my little probabilities and things like that. So this is like an ongoing tradition for me. And then I kind of continue that tradition. Let me put this away. So this is actually just a copy of it because it's in my little smash book. I don't know what they call them, but it's like a book that it's kind of like a scrapbook, like a junk journal, but it's all flat because it's just the copy of the page. It's not the actual junk journal. It's just like somebody photocopied a junk journal and mass produced it, which I think is pretty cool. Wish I could do that one day. But I got this for like on sale for like 30% off. And again, this is before I made my own book, but I started making my own books, but I use it for so much other stuff. I don't want to show you guys my cake memes. Like I print out memes of cakes that make me laugh. So when I'm sad, I look at it. I have like a whole picture book of just my dog. You know what? I think I'll show it to you. So here's the Smash book. And let me see if I can get to my Pokemon list. So this is my Pokemon list, and it's really funny. This is kind of why I didn't want to show you guys. I have a lot of private stuff in here too, but I'm such a nerd. When I was playing WoW Classic, I actually wrote down the pots and the potions recipes. So I was watching this YouTuber do like flower art, like really simplified flower art. And I kind of just practice in here too. So that's another thing here. Here goes my my dog book and funny moments of troll. Here's my like cake meme. So they make me laugh all the time. Anyways, one day I'm going to show you all the books and stuff I have, but right now I just need this as like a, I guess, so I don't have to keep looking at my little journal for like my old counts, you know, in case I get disheartened. I don't really have a case for my book yet, so I looked at some velvet cases online to stop it from being dusty, but I haven't quite done it, so it's in a plastic bag right now. But this is, I'm going to put this here because this is, I wanted to keep this mainly because it's like a reminder not to be discouraged, because sometimes when you do shiny hunting, it can drive you crazy, like for real. Not the best paper, but it's good because there's like I said in one of my other videos, I mistook like this paper for some heavyweight linen I had, and that was a disaster. So I'm using the weaker paper. Let's see if it'll, I don't have an and sign though. Made me upset I couldn't find one. My husband pointed out this is probably for kids, so If they know how to use the ampersand, then maybe there's some other questions, but you know. There we go. It's the sword and shield. I like it because, like I said, it's kind of encouraging because when you breed shinies, the new game is outrageous. Like, you just go outside and there's a shiny just hanging out. But the old game, you had to kind of, you could find them in the wild, but it wasn't that common. Then you had to do, like, I had instructions in my book about herds or something. I forgot what it was. Hordes of Pokemon. Anyway, so you had to do a lot. So it was easier for me just to breed them. So you can see my Hatterene with no hidden ability was 720 eggs. Just to give you an idea, back in the day, you had to go to a daycare, pick up one egg, then do some steps, go back, pick up another egg, do some steps, go back, pick up another egg. And like, I used to collect boxes of these. Like, I wonder if I'm okay sometimes. I just think back on how the struggle was and what people fuss about the game being too easy now. It's like, do you remember? Do you know what we had to do to make Pokemon back then? So 720 eggs. Toxel, which is for my brother, or no, it was for Fred, I think. 23. And I put the dates on it too. Now this is like 2 or 3 years, two years ago?
Yeah,
2 or 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years, wait, 20. It's 3 years ago. So this is 3 years ago, and I was doing this already like a crazy person. So then I had Zigzagoon 110, Esper 756, Noibat 304. This is how many eggs. And then this is, I even put on there when I got my shiny charm and the dates. And so like you continue on, like, I don't know where he is, but there was one where I oh, there he is, Applin. I did 1,200 eggs. And then we got 2 more with 775. And then I got this hippopotamus Pokemon in 3 eggs by accident. I was trying to breed a 6 IV, which is like a good Pokemon, a 6 IV Pokemon. And then he came out shiny by accident, and I was like, I gotta use this one. He had like 3 IVs. It was horrible, but I'm like, he's shiny, so I'm gonna use him. So now fast forward, we strolled down memory lane. Fast forward, which I think is so funny. And I did this because, first of all, they have a flamingo in the game now, and I had the paper for it. And second of all, like, it reminds me of like a hunt. So I put this like shiny hunting, and it looked, I'm doing the same thing without even remembering that, like, from 3 years ago. I'm doing the same. Apparently this is the kind of person I am. I just do this. So I put the date, I put myself. So my husband and I decided to kind of make it a competition, and I think I'm gonna win. But we put the dates and where we found them, and I even put the date, my shiny charm, on this game too. I did the same thing. And then, actually, I have to update this. What's the day? The 19th? Okay. It's like, I saw that yesterday, but it's just weird to me. Time goes by too fast. So, what's this thing called? Quaxley?
Yes. QUAXLY.
Another one.
Oh, no.
Let's check out how many eggs that was, because I'm also keeping track of that again. Probably not in a good organized way, but let me see. I have my little chart here. Let's see. Okay, so I had 190, and I did 5 more. Each of these boxes is, each box is 10. So I ended up doing 195 eggs before I got my Quaxley. So let's put that total here. So let's see. 195 is not bad. I believe the Masuda method is 1 out of 512. So technically 195 is good. Though I did just breed a vroom for my husband and it was only 29 eggs, was ridiculous, but whatever. Let's go ahead and update our shiny finds. So I'm going to give credit to my husband for the vroom because technically he's the one that opened the egg because I bred them, but then I didn't feel like opening them, to be honest with you, because I was just like, I don't feel like dealing with it today. Let's see if I remember the order correct. I try to okay, so let's see. This is oh, I don't even know. I think this one is this way. I'm just trying to put them in order. I can't remember well. Oh boy, that's too funny. This one. And then this one. Like that's the order. So what I'm doing now, I think it's a cute little idea. I'm not trying to be perfect because they're not all going to be the same size because I print them different and also I'm just cutting them out randomly. But I'm trying to catalog all my shiny finds like in a way that's really cute. I mean, I'm keeping track of it on the tracking list, but since this is a competition and it's like almost like a little badge. And you probably like, I see 2 of these like 3 times. Well, everybody likes the same Pokemon apparently, okay? Everybody wants the same one. Now, this one I found by accident, but my brother and my husband both like this, so I definitely got to find something to mess that up some kind of way. I have to find a nice fire type or something. Or maybe something that knows a fire move, because I know it knows earth moves, so I'll be looking for something with fire punch or something that'll give them a bad time. Because they both have the same thing. That just makes it easier for me. If they want to keep getting the same Pokemon, I'm totally okay with that. I just have to get one thing then. So then this one I'm going to put on my husband's because even though I bred it, he's the one that hatched it. And I'm going to make a video about this on my other channel. But the breeding method, technically it should be a baby duck, but I like the big one. So I got a girl one and I named it Queen. It was so cute. But anyways, technically, like, it's easier in a way for grown people to do it. Like, I think people are thinking that this is made for like teenagers or people like children. I think it could be both, because honestly the Pokemon games are kind of difficult for a child. Like, that's why we had these horrible IV Pokemons and Pokemon just running around and not knowing what we're doing because we were kids. But at the same time, I do feel like it was not intended for children. So this one I think might be better suited for children because it's a lot easier to maneuver. But at the same time, I think they took into account people who play Pokemon Go that don't know how to play Pokemon, that never grew up. Like, we've been playing it for 25 years or so, I think, right? How long has this game been out? Not more than 25, maybe 20 years? Because I was like 10 when I started playing it. I don't even know anymore. Okay. Anyways, it's been a long time since Pokemon came out. So people have been playing that game for like decades. And then they expect, like, how old was that?
96. That's 27 years.
Okay, 27.
No. Wait, can I do minutes? No.
I don't know. It's been at least 2 decades, okay? People have been playing this game for 2 decades. Look at this and they're like, oh, it's too easy for me. But then at the same time, it's like, I think it's for people who have never played it before because it costs money. And then now Pokemon Go, or was it Pokemon Go? The one on the phone that I don't play anymore. Yes. But Pokemon, I did play it to get shinies off of it to transfer to my other game. But Pokemon Go, yeah, that people don't know how it works. So they played this free game. It's like It's like a gateway game. So they play this free game, and then you want them to catch up to something that you've been playing for 20-something years. Like, really? Like, I don't think that'd be fair, and I think that's what they made it a little bit easier. But anyways, let's just go through a tour of this book before I tell you more stories. So this is the little thing I made. I like it so much. Like, I mix my glitter. I usually always mix the glitter first and then put the color with it. And a lot of times the glitter is not evenly distributed like I want it to. But this time I mixed the color and then I mixed the glitter on top of it at the end. And it came out great. Like, you can even see glitter, like, it's distributed like everywhere. Like on the side of the book, on the back of it. I know it's a little extra, but I mean, it's fun. It kind of reminds me also of the little effects when you get like a Pokemon, a shiny Pokemon. Like, it's got the little sparkles in it. It looks just like that. And these like big gold pieces remind me of gold coins. So that's why I kind of did it. So this is a little thing. It's not perfect, but it's like my second sculpture thing that I ever made and cast the mold. So this looks, I think it's funny. It looks like clay, but this is epoxy. And I actually painted the details in darker colors because it didn't come out as dark as I wanted, but I like it. It came out pretty good for my second attempt. And he's just a little book cover. He's supposed to have an antenna, but I didn't feel like doing it. I'm sorry. So anyways, I had to get more bigger rings because I knew I was going to run out of space. So anyways, let's just go ahead and look in the book. So we have my first page, which is like, I always keep forgetting the nature of these things. So I just gave up looking it up and I just put it in the book. So I think I'm going to actually like highlight the ones I use the most. And then I have berries, which I can't remember that either anymore. And then what I want to do, if I ever start doing, this is for EV training. So this is my bad handwriting. This is like no effort. This is how I normally write without trying. And then this is like, I found a cute little page, but whenever I get Herba Mystica and I start making good sandwiches, in the game you make sandwiches to increase certain odds or stats or capabilities and things like that. So once I get the material I need, I can actually put the recipes here, but I really don't need it right now. So I just settled on putting like the regular sandwich recipes, like the number on it, so I can remember. You can put favorites on there, but then you still got to scroll down to see the favorites. It's like, okay, so I just kind of help myself memorize it. Here's some more. And this is what I've been doing with my Foamimo. Is that thing called Foamimo? My Foamimo printer. I made like a little template for myself that has the Pokemon, like the same I used to do for my old book, but tiny. So and this is like free because, well, not free, but it's not as much ink because it's a thermal printer. I mean, it's not as colorful, but it's okay. So like this one, this is, and this is like Avery, in case you're wondering, this is Avery sticker paper. I don't use that for stickers I sell or stickers I actually like. I just use it for like business stuff, like labels. So when I print my little Pokemon, I put it as quick print so I can be cheap. But for this, it's even cheaper because it's just laser thermal paper. And I put like the IVs and the nature and all this stuff in the move set. But this is all the Pokemon I have that I want to use on a team right now. I'm just putting all, like, overall, these are the Pokemon so I can see at a glance what I, because honestly, I didn't do this kind of a book last expansion, and I feel like I don't remember my team at all. Like, I don't know what, if I was to open up Sword and Shield and look at my team, I couldn't tell you a strategy of what I was doing. Like, I have no idea. I feel like I had like a Trick Room team where it was slow. My slowest Pokemon that hit the hardest would be first. But then I had another team, and I don't know what the gimmick was, but, you know, I had a bunch of them. So this is just for future Pokemon. And these are going to be my team set. So this one I call Toxic because this is what the set is going to be. It's going to be Toxic Pokemon. And then, of course, Poison type does not affect steel type, so naturally they go hand in hand. So I'm gonna put some steel type Pokemon in there with them. And don't worry, my husband still has no idea what my team is gonna be like, but this is my team so far, and these are repeats from the other one where it has my overall Pokemon. I'm just putting the specific ones in that team so I know. And I think there's a team function now still in this game. I haven't really used it, like where you can put them in a box and assign it to a team, and that's what you can use to battle with. But still, I like to be organized and know what they're doing. So right now, like I said, if I go, I can find the teams in my Sword and Shield, but I have no idea what the strategy was. So this way, from now on, I won't be confused about what I'm doing. And this is like leftover Halloween thing. I couldn't put it in any of my Halloween books, so I put it here. Looks like it fit. Same kind of thing here. And then this is my, okay, I'm going to let you guys in on a super secret, okay? And it's okay because my husband kind of knows about this one. So this is called, and I like this paper because it looks like Pokeballs. So I put it between each of my teams. And it was like $1 for a whole pack of it at a, not a thrift store, but like a clearance store. If you have an Ollie's, go look at the paper and the stationery section. It's worth it. So anyways, this is my Oops team. And I put it in red because I could. But basically, the whole catch and gimmick of this team is everybody knows an attack that has a low chance of working. And then they also have an attack that if you do an attack and it fails, the second attack does more damage. So basically, I'm intentionally trying to mess up so that it can hit whatever whatever I'm battling with an even harder attack. So it's like, oops, like you think, I tried this in my Sword and Shield. So I wanted to make a public apology to that one guy who I tried this out on, and I think he was from Japan. I'm so sorry that happened to you. So I had a hippo, and it knew Fissure, and Fissure is an attack that drops the Pokemon through the earth, like they just vanish, and it instantly is a KO. They're done, like the Pokemon. And I think it has a 25% chance of hitting, right? So I just decided to test this out on a random person I found in Poke Battles. And the person joined the match, and I did it one time, and his Pokemon said, pew! And I'm like, oh man, I messed that up. I was supposed to be testing this second move, which is called Stomping Tantrum, which if the first move doesn't work, they do a tantrum, and it hurt, like the move does more damage. So I was like, that's odd. I don't know why that worked. It's 25% chance of success. Let's try it again. And the next Pokemon goes, pew! And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to test this out, am I? So sure enough, he puts his next Pokemon out. He's number 3. Pew! He fell down. And I was like, no way! He's going to think I'm hacking. This is not real. Because it's 25. It's rolling a dice, and it keeps landing on, like, 1. He's like, yes, 1. Okay. I did it again. He pulls out number 4. He just falls through the earth. I'm like, okay, what is going on? And then the next thing I see is the guy disconnected. He really thought I was cheating. And I was just trying to test this moveset out. And then when I finally started using it like on people, it worked really well. And then when I did doubles battles, I was with my little brother and I were on the team. And my husband and my big brother were on the team. And the first thing they did, when I put that little hippopotamus out, they just nuked it. I was like, I cannot believe y'all are so rude. It's like they weren't even talking to each other. It wasn't on Discord. I don't know how they communicated to know. Maybe because they heard that story about the guy who rage quit. But like instantly they just wiped my little hippo out. And I was like, ugh. But I thought it'd be really funny if I had a team of just Pokemon that just did that. But different types of Pokemon. Because I found out that there's other things like this guy, Bax Caliber can do Dragon Rush. I think it's 75% accuracy. And then he also does Stomping Tantrum. Then you got this Annihilate. Any kind of punching move has like a lower accuracy. And I just put Drain Punch, but I don't know what I'll get yet. And then Stomping Tantrum behind it. And so then this guy does, this is he's not really the best, but This is Mrs. Claus, and she does guillotine, which is a 25% success rate, kind of like fissure, and stomp and tantrum. And then we got this guy who can also do dragon rush and stomp and tantrum. So I just want to go out, and it's probably not going to work, but I think it'll be hilarious if I go into a match. Like if like in maybe 3 weeks, if somebody sees some lunatic that's doing stomp and tantrum all the time, it's me. It's me. It's definitely me. Sorry in advance, but you know, I'm looking at other moves that could go in that oops category, just do goofy stuff. And so this is my cute team. I don't really have anything for it yet except for my duck, which I just got a shiny crack sleeve today. But one day I'm going to have a lot of Pokemon in here, especially when I transfer my Pokemon from Sword and Shield. Like, I have 3 shiny Hatterines because 2 of them didn't have the hidden ability bounce, so I had to get another one. I bred 2, and my brother got me 1 on top of that to try to make me feel better. And I'm like, it doesn't have bounce. And he's like, oh man. I'm like, bye. This is my husband's artwork. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that too. I'm so goofy. So this is my husband's artwork too. He drew this. He made the Hatterene out of hair, so it's like really detailed. And I think, let me see if I can get this one back. I don't have one for my oops team. I got to get you to make a sticker for my oops team. This is for, this is a Toxapex. I don't even know how to say these things. They keep making up new Pokemon. Yeah, so this is Toxapex. I hated it. I hate the design. I was like, I hate this thing. When I saw it, I was like, this is so cringe. What is this? And my brother told me it was from a different expansion that I didn't play. Alola? I didn't play that either, so I didn't play that either.
Sun and Moon? I'm not sure.
Is it Sun and Moon? I don't know. I didn't play that one. I didn't have time. I was really busy at work. Like, for real, I was working like 6 days a week at that point. But anyways, that's another story for another day. But yeah, so this came from a different expansion. It came back in Sword and Shield, and he's like, everybody used to have that, and it was really annoying. I'm like, so it's outdated? He's like, yeah, nobody plays with that anymore. I'm like, okay. So I just looked at it and I started playing with it, and the thing has an attack called Baneful Bunker. So what it is like it shields itself, and then if you hit it physically, if you do any kind of physical attack on it or damage it, the Pokemon is instantly poisoned badly, I think. Or maybe it's just poisoned regularly. Because believe it or not, it has different levels of poisoning. So if you, like, for example, Toxic is like badly poisoned. It does more damage over time. But anyway, so what I would do is do Baneful. I remember this strategy because it was funny. Maybe that should go on my oops team too. That's pretty hilarious. So I would do Baneful Bunker, right? And then I would, if they didn't hit me, first of all, it shields you. And if they didn't do a physical hit on me, the next thing I would do is do Toxic. So I would poison whatever it is. Then I'd do Baneful Bunker again. I think like you can't do it back to back. Yeah. So I would do Toxic and then do Baneful Bunker, and then they would hit or do whatever on that Toxic, and then I would do Recover on that turn. And so this thing would last forever. Some of the matches ran out of time. It just lasts forever. It's so funny. My brother used to be so mad at this thing. Yeah, I miss it a lot. I don't have one in this game, but I'm going to get one. I have a baby one that I want to breed. Like, that's one of the ones I didn't make a shiny because I was like, it has a hidden ability called Regenerator. Oh my god, I sound like a nerd. Okay. It has a hidden ability called Regenerator. I sound like a giant nerd. I think I am a nerd. Okay, besides crafting, I also like to play games. So, I don't know if that's obvious, but I actually met my husband on a game a long time ago. We played games together. So, I've known him for a long time, and then we both played the same games. Anyways, when back in the day, I used to be like a big, like, competitive, like, PvP game, player versus player game kind of person, but it just made me really angry and hostile and, like, mean. So I kind of let it go. Like, I was getting up there though. We were ranking up. I started with the PvP with my husband and like a friend, and then I got tired of them because they kept messing up. And so I found some random guy who was really good at it. I was like, I'm okay. Can we be a team? And he's like, sure. So we started doing double matches, and we were like climbing up there, but we were so like, I was so stressed out and angry all the time. So I just stopped doing that. So that life is behind me. But I can do Pokemon. Pokemon's okay. So yeah, that's a oh, I didn't even go through here. This is my favorite Pokemon so far in the expansion. This is a shiny Ditto that's from Japan with 6 IVs. Me and you aren't going to ask where this came from, okay? We're not going to ask that question. My brother gave this to me when I started the game. So my brother was like, he knows I like to breed Pokemon a lot. What I used for my shinies before was a Meryl, or was it wasn't a Azumarill, it was a Meryl. And I used to breed shinies with a Meryl, and it had 6 IVs. I don't even know how I got that one, but I named it Boobles. It was pretty funny. I must have had that one. Anyways, that's what I used to use for breeding back then. But my brother gave this to me, this expansion, when I got the game, and he's like, hey, I got this, you want it? And I'm like, okay, what is it? And he just traded it to me. I'm like, oh my God, it's shiny. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, it's got perfect IVs. I'm like, how you know that? He's like, yeah, it just does. Yeah. So it probably fell off the back of a truck somewhere. I don't know. But this is my gift from my brother. So that's why I like him so much. I'm going to find some little hearts, because like when you breed them and you picnic with them, you can talk to the little Pokemon and it'll tell you how much it likes you. This thing loves me. It has hearts everywhere. So obviously all he does all day is eat sandwiches and like have relations with other Pokemon. So I can see why he would like me more than the other ones, but I love him so much. He is so funny. This thing is hilarious. Like, just, it's funny. And plus, again, it was a gift from my brother, so it has special meaning to me because he gave it to me. And then it's just a shiny stuff because it's supposed to be for shiny hunting. And I already showed you, we did this together. So this is my section of shiny. I found this paper for my Christmas paper, the leftovers from a Christmas set. So I use this because it looks kind of like shinies. And so then I have my wish list. Oh my gosh, somebody's gonna be like, man, she's a big nerd. So these are all the Pokemon I want as a shiny, and I can take him off. I did that one already. Yep, I didn't do any of the other ones yet though. Okay, so I have a lot of work to do. Let's make sure that's dry before you do it. Okay. Okay, and then we got, this is my sheet that I fill out for how many eggs I'm breeding, and that's what I'm going to use these little papers for. This is, again, my little sheet where I'm tagging and releasing Pokemon. Not really releasing, but I'm putting these on here, what I've collected so far. See, look at my page, remember it. So I put a bunch of blank pages because I think there's going to be a bunch more. Since this game, you literally can walk outside and there'll be a shiny. So then this is my brother's list, so I got this for him. So far I've gotten him, let me just put this on because I've already done that. I got him 2 of the shinies that he wanted, and I gave him a shiny Golduck because I felt bad for him because he has had the game for 2 months more than me, and he still has not seen one shiny. And then I was breeding a Rockruff for him, but I ended up catching it instead, so that's one less thing I have to open in eggs. And then this is Fred's. This is my husband's page. So I made it in blue because, I don't know, I just made it in blue. He has all the shinies he wanted. So I'm done with him, I guess, unless he thinks of something else. But I did put on here the shinies he found. So notice how tiny this list is. Look how small and insignificant this page is. He's making faces. It's a competition. I'm sure he'll catch up in the next lifetime. I'm kidding. It's okay. Isn't it? No? Okay, but yeah, he found these so far. So I'm ahead. And then of course you saw my little shiny log and what I've been hunting. And I'm gonna try to keep it up and see. Like one day I found like, what is it, 5 in one day. And this other day I found 3 in one day. So don't judge me. Okay, but anyways, I just wanted to do story time, and because I know like the short probably doesn't give a lot of explanation on what's going on. You probably just see a book and me putting things in it, and you're probably like, what is that for? Well, there it is. This was for. And thank you for listening. And if you like this and you like hearing me run my mouth and stuff, like and subscribe.